Okay, it looks like we are live, fellas. Let's go ahead and get things started here. Hello and welcome to the MMA Live Chat Show. I'm Rich Davie, and it's Friday, July 11th, 2014. We're streaming live on YouTube once again, and on today's show we'll be discussing the UFC signing Holly Holm after initially having some problems trying to negotiate things with her. BJ Penn retiring after the TUF 19 finale, and Ronda Rousey's post-UFC 175 injuries and who she may be fighting upon her return once those injuries heal. And we'll more than likely discuss another topic or two in the Final Thoughts segment. On today's show we have yours truly, Damon Gazelle, and Jeremiah Deskins. Thanks for taking part in the show, guys. Go ahead and say hello to anybody that might be listening.
How's it going, guys? How's it going, everybody?
Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? What's going on, Damon and Rich? It's good to be back.
Good to see you again, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into things here. We're going to be running a little short on time today, but let's get started here. Let's talk about Holly Holm, the professional boxer with a 33-2-3 boxing record and a 2-1 kickboxing record, who made the transition into an MMA fighter and has been very successful to date. Holm has been training at the Jackson-Winkeljohn's MMA camp for a while now, and her MMA record is 7-0. Back in March of 2014, DFW and Holly Holm's manager apparently had troubles trying to play nice at the negotiating table, and shortly thereafter, DFW announced on the UFC Tonight Show that the UFC had no interest whatsoever in signing Holly Holm. DFW went on to explain that he was unable to deal with Holm's manager and that it would take Lorenzo to step in to see if he could seal the deal and make it come to fruition there, because he was no longer willing to deal with Holm's management. Aside from the friction between DFW and Holm's manager, the sticking point apparently was the two sides being far apart on compensation for Holm's participation in the event of a title shot against the UFC champion Rousey. But he mentioned that following UFC 171 in March, the experience was a positive one for him, and it seemed like they might be able to go ahead and come to terms at some point down the road. And good news is that the UFC finally has signed Holly Holm, according to the announcement on Thursday by DFW on Twitter, and Holly Holm confirmed the signing on social networking sites as well. I'm not quite sure if DFW did indeed step away from the negotiating table and let Lorenzo step in and take over, but apparently whatever transpired there, it allowed the deal to gel between the UFC and Holm's management. What have you guys heard about this news? Who is making all of that racket?
Keyboard. Basically, that's all I've heard. Is just she's been signed. And who do you guys think should be her first fight? I say more along the lines of Juliana Pena, if she's available, Jessamine Duke. I don't think they need to throw her right in the mix. Her first fight.
Yeah, I agree with
no, I think they've already said that she's going to have to fight someone before she gets to Rousey.
So, no, it was actually her management that said she's going to come in. They don't want to rush her, and the term they used was build. They want to build her, and get her to have 2 or 3 fights before she even considers fighting Ronda Rousey. So, yeah, that was the question I was going to ask you guys. Who do you think should be her first fight? And we know it's not going to be Rousey because I don't believe Rousey wants it. I don't believe DFW wants it, and obviously her camp doesn't want it. I mean, Holly Holm apparently wants it because she's come out and said that before. But it doesn't look like that's in her best interest, and her management looks to be taking care of her in that regard. So, who did you say there, Jeremiah? You say Jessamine Duke?
Jessamine or Juliana or Alexis Kaufman. I mean, there's anybody but the top. Anybody but Misha or Ronda. Well, Kat, it's a lot of fights that would be interesting to see her in.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to even start out that fast, like you're saying. Maybe, maybe Jessamine Duke, or I mean, I think highest she should go up is maybe Carmouche.
Yeah, Carmouche is. I mean, I think she's the #1 contender still myself.
You think so?
Oh yeah, she's gave Ronda the toughest test besides Misha in the last fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
that's
like
true.
to see her go up against somebody like McMahon or something with some kind of grappling pedigree, knowing that she's coming from a boxing background. And yeah, she does have some MMA experience, but I would like to see her up against the women in the UFC and see how well she fares against that. Because if she does go up against Rousey, she's going to be going up against the best grappler in the UFC. So I want to see her tested in that area.
Did you guys see Cyborg supposed to be fighting in December in the UFC?
Yeah, we'll
Nah,
get
it's
on to that.
Invicta, I believe. I thought.
Yeah, we'll get onto that later, but let's stay on this topic here and finish up this topic here. Um, yeah, a lot of fans seem to be saying the same thing that Damon is saying here, that Holly Holm's ground game is questionable, or if she even has a ground game. And a lot of people are actually saying they actually want to see her, take on, somebody who's a higher grappling pedigree than actually at boxing, because, seeing her go against somebody that's a striker really wouldn't make much sense if she's looking to test herself to move up the ladder to fight Ronda Rousey. But I mean, should that not pan out for her and she not develop a ground game, which I find hard to believe, because when I spoke to Michelle Watterson last April after she won the title over at Invicta, she said that keep your eyes out on Holly Holm. She's moving along quickly, and man, she sure was right, because a year later, Holly Holm is in fact signed with the UFC, and Michelle Watterson is not.
7-0. That's a good record. I mean, but it's hard to judge the division.
And
Up
again, the
against
caliber of
Invicta
fighters that
because
she's
we
been
are.
up against.
Yeah, but she is going up against, I believe, some of the fighters that have made their way up to the UFC, or the UFC's pulling fighters from Invicta and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to say they're UFC caliber just yet, especially when you have somebody like Rousey who just ragdolls people left and right.
Yeah, I don't think there's any delusions in her camp about whether or not she's good enough to take on Rousey at this point. Because again, if she did take on Rousey without the, ground game that she so desperately is going to need, really her only, hope would be to effectively utilize her striking by staying on the outside, avoiding the clinch and takedown. And, that might be the only thing that she would have a shot at beating her. She could stay on the outside and keep it standing, but we know that probably isn't going to happen, because Rousey would just probably walk through that, grab her, and, judo throw her to the ground.
Have you guys heard when Juliana is coming back?
No, she's hurt pretty badly. I heard she
Yeah.
was going to be out for quite a while.
What about Shayna? Shayna,
She's fighting somebody upcoming.
she's already. I believe they'll give Holly a easy first fight. So much hype surrounding her. They're not going to throw her in with somebody like McMahon. They're going to match her up against a striker.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
More than likely,
Yeah.
which would be, I don't know. I guess if they do throw her up against a striker and then give her a shot at the title, I mean, that'd be kind of bad if we didn't get to see her grappling.
No.
I want to see her grappling and see how well, because we've seen the boxing types come over, and they do seem to do very well against certain fighters, but when it comes to grappling,
coming from
it's all different.
Jackson-Winkeljohn's camp, you know that they're probably going to be putting together an effective game plan for her, and you know that's going to include training her on the ground. So.
Yeah, but to go up against somebody like Rousey is a totally
Yeah, I
different
agree. They
thing.
probably will throw a couple of strikers at her early on there, so she can actually build up a name and destroy a couple of opponents.
Yeah, more than likely.
What is the boxer chick that was on the Ultimate Fighter show? What's her name? You guys know who I'm talking about.
The boxer chick?
Yeah, she was a professional boxer, and she actually held a few belts.
Oh, Rousey, whatever her name is.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
She's moved on. She's I don't know if she's fighting with Invicta now, or did she go elsewhere? But she got cut from the UFC, I believe.
They'll probably match her up with Mata Ferry. What's her name?
She got cut from the UFC too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Damn. I've been out of the loop here.
I think she got cut from the UFC. I know she was definitely on the verge because,
Roxanne.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one who's the happy warrior or whatever they call her.
The ninja.
Yeah.
Hey, she's a vet though. She's been around for a while. But the past couple of days I've been watching Holly's fights, and really didn't get to see much of her ground game. She keeps her distance away good enough with her striking. I don't know. I'd actually like to see where it's at, what level it's on.
Well, she's not really, I hate to say she's old, but she's not really a spring chicken. She's 32 years old,
Mm.
So she's not going to be able to have time to, play around for 2 years or more before she goes after the, a shot at the title. I would think she has to actually, take a couple of fights at least within the year. Not maybe, not this year, but within a year's time,
Ronda's going to be in trouble when she does go against a real good striker. I thought McMahon was doing good before the knee in that fight.
Yeah, but I mean, look at what Ronda just did to Davis. I mean, her striking's improving even more. I'm just hoping that she's smart enough not to get away from what got her where she's at, and tries to get into a striking match with somebody like Cyborg, where
her striking defense sucks. I mean, her striking has got better, but her defense, when she throws, she's open for the counter on every shot she throws. Head straight up, hands not up. I mean,
she needs to stick to her bread and butter.
Yeah, it's coming. Somebody's going to rock that ass there before long.
No, yeah, I agree.
I can't wait.
Why?
Let me read some of what I read here from Holm's manager. He stated that they were very satisfied with how things turned out in negotiations. And right now we just have to perform in the UFC. So that kind of sounds to me like they didn't quite get what they wanted in terms of monetary compensation right off the bat. But if Holly Holm does well in the UFC, the potential and capacity to earn more progressively with each successful performance is there. And then again, maybe there's even, a clause in there to renegotiate the contract if she does well too, for, better monetary terms there. But of course, that's all speculation on my part. But I don't know, man.
It sounds about right, though.
I don't think she's coming for the money because she was getting paid already.
Yeah.
I mean, she's taking a major pay cut coming to the UFC.
No, she's wanting to prove herself that she can do it in multiple sports.
Oh.
Yeah, well, she's not only got the hands, she's got the feet, too, because didn't she knock out that other fighter she fought just recently with a head kick?
It actually almost kicked her in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kicked the shit out of her.
And she's pretty tough, too, because she broke her arm in that fight, and it was clear looking at the x-ray there on that fracture that it wasn't just a hairline fracture. That bone was broken in two. Did you see that?
It was in two spots, broken two spots, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah, she's tough.
But man, to go the whole fight there, and she started throwing kicks because I believe they said they couldn't pinpoint exactly when she broke the arm, but people did notice that in round one she started throwing a lot of kicks, and she pretty much kept that up through the fight there. So I guess if we're going by that, we probably could say that it was probably early on in the first round when that happened, because if she started throwing kicks in the first round, that was probably when the injury occurred.
Have they set a date on her first fight?
They haven't set a specific date. Let's see, no timeline has been given for her return to active competition because she's got to wait for the broken bone to heal. But Holm's manager guesstimates that Holm will make her UFC debut in late October or November. And as we mentioned earlier here, he also stated that a title shot is not in her immediate future. Further stating that Holly Holm needs to build up with a couple of fights first so Holm can knock down whoever the UFC puts Holm up against. And I do agree with that, and it sounds like we all agree with that, determination to go in that direction there. So before any serious talk comes about, regarding Rousey versus Holm matchup, like you guys were saying, yeah, we need to see her go up against a couple of good grapplers or, at least a couple of well-rounded fighters who aren't, primarily strikers. But again, going back to what Damon said there, they'll probably put her up against a striker or two early on who's probably not quite as good as her to get the hype train going on her a bit. I mean, most MMA fans who are into women's MMA know who she is because we've been watching her and waiting for her, arrival in the UFC. So, if they got to build some hype around her, and I guess that would be the way to do it. And I think Damon's right about that. Maybe that will in fact happen. A couple of strikers early on there, so she can beat them up.
I believe that was actually Jeremiah that said that. I was wanting to see her against grapplers.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Jessamine or Sarah Kaufman. That'll be my two picks.
Oh, I thought Damon said that they would probably match her up against a striker early on.
No, I was agreeing with Jeremiah.
Oh well. All right, so pretty interesting turn of events there. Again, we still got to wait till October, November, but it'll be interesting to see who they put her up against there. So we really haven't come to an agreement on who we think she should fight, then, huh?
No.
No.
I would throw her in against a striker. I would tune her up a little bit. Because you throw her with a grappler, they're going to take her down first thing. Someone like McMahon, she's going to shoot right off the bat.
Yeah,
I think Jessamine Duke would be a good matchup for her.
I think that would
They
be
both
a
have like a kickboxing background.
I think that would be a gimme fight. I think she destroys Jessamine Duke.
Jessamine's ground game's no joke. She's got good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
She's tall too. So
Yeah. That'd be a good fight. I just think Jessamine's broke ever since her last fight on the show, especially her last fight in the UFC. Man, she's done.
She just doesn't look good to me. Again, like we said on that last show when we spoke about the fight that she had, she just kind of goes through the motions. There's no bad intentions on anything that she does.
Nope.
Yeah, knowing she comes from like a kickboxing background, to see her not implement any of that into that last fight too she's
right, but the Muay Thai that she was doing, that's why I asked you guys on that one show. I think it was the three of us. But the Muay Thai that she's trying to do on that fight there was like, man, oh man, it didn't look like she had ever, fought Muay Thai before.
I don't know, maybe she's still got the jitters in the UFC being on the big stage.
What was the chick's name that she fought on the Ultimate Fighter? They called her Rocky. What's the little chick's name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The good-ass fight they had. What was her daggone name?
Yeah, I can't. It starts with a P.
What happened to her?
I don't know.
She lost the fight.
She what?
I thought she lost her fight in the UFC.
She did lose a fight in the UFC. I think she lost 2 in the UFC already.
Really?
I think.
Raquel? Is her name
Raquel Pennington or something like that. Yeah, I know she looked to be more of a threat on Tough, but then as the season wound down there, she got eliminated, and then she just I don't think she fared well in the UFC, and I think she had 2 fights in the UFC already. No?
Yeah, I think so. Once they get done with the Tough show and see the bright lights of the real show, kind of like Uriah Hall, I mean, I think it stuns them.
Yeah, it's going in the big leagues, when you get in there, it's some of them take right to it. Some of them, it takes a little while.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Bruce Leroy's, other than Faber, is starting to really. But he was putting together a pretty good string of wins before Faber. So I mean, and then you got guys too like what's his name? Shouldn't even be in the UFC, let alone the WSOF or Bellator. What's that guy? He just lost pretty bad. Colton Smith.
Oh God, I hated him on the show, man. I couldn't.
Have we heard any more about him? Because that was 3 losses for him, I believe. No.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about him being cut or anything. You would think he would be by now.
Yeah.
Did he win?
Looks horrible.
No. Did he win the show? He didn't win the show?
No, he got eliminated immediately in the first round.
Yeah.
He won the show. He won the show he was on.
Yeah, he won the Tough season.
He won the show. It wasn't the season Gaston and Hall was on.
No, it was like the
after.
live season. It was like the live season he was on. It was season 16 or something like that.
Yeah, that was season 16 was the live one, yeah.
Kelvin, he's doing good. Gaston, he's doing good.
Other than missing weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had missed weight a couple of times now.
And he's young. He's young, undefeated. He's good.
Well, it doesn't matter how good he is.
Keeps,
If he keeps on missing weight, he's going to have some trouble.
Yeah, he'll be done. He was underestimated on the show. No.
Yeah, you gotta make your weight.
All right. So, any more comments on Holly Holm starting with the UFC?
Just looking to see how well she does. You know, I mean, it's always good to see more female fighters added to the roster, especially now we're gonna have after this tough season, we're gonna have another division.
Oh yeah, wait, there's more. I'm trying to get through the things really quick here because there's a whole bunch of news that's happening. I can't believe all the news that broke within the last day or so, or last couple of days. But let's go ahead and move on there. Good luck to Holly Holm. I hope she does well in the UFC. And I do think at some point or another she will be going up against Ronda Rousey. Don't know if she will beat her or not because, again, Ronda Rousey is a two-time Olympic champion, judo champion, and that's going to be hard for her to overcome no matter how much she improves her ground game. Okay, let's move on to the next topic here. BJ Penn retires after the Tough 19 finale loss to Frankie Edgar. Man, oh man, I actually missed that because I fell asleep, but I heard it was pretty brutal, guys. Comments on that?
Yeah, it was horrible. BJ never really got anything off. Frankie pretty much dominated the entire fight. BJ looked like a turtle on his back when he was on the ground, just waiting for Frankie to come in. A lot of the time, and his stance, I had seen an article, but I didn't read it. Something about his stance. He was standing straight up too.
Yeah, trying to fight long and
weird
straight.
stance. Yeah, he had a weird stance. I mean,
yeah, I read the same thing. I saw people complaining about how all he did was stand there straight up and down and take shots.
So it's kind of like the old boxers, how they.
Bare knuckle boxers.
The old pugilists.
I didn't even watch the fight, man. I mean.
I wanted to watch it, but I fell asleep, man. I was watching the event that night and passed out.
Now, he had said something about he shouldn't have even come back, which, you know.
Yeah, I saw that in the...
kind of agree.
In the post-fight presser, he was all emotional, and he said, I shouldn't have bothered coming back.
You know, you don't want to see a legend of the sport like that come in and take a loss like that. You know, BJ Penn's loved, and he's loved for a reason.
You know, and again, he came from that era back when, you know, Matt Hughes and GSP and, you know, Rich Franklin and all those guys were, you know, household names in that day and era. And, you know, that whole group of guys, man, they all got passed by because, again, we saw that, you know, evolution and the revolution of the sport where everybody just at that time seemed to progress in leaps and bounds and just, you know, left those guys in the dust. I mean, yeah, they hung around for a while longer fighting, but we saw a lot of those guys take a lot of their lumps in that, you know.
He could have done so much better in his career if he would have trained somewhere else besides Hawaii. It's too fucking laid back, and he just got the fight beat out of him fighting 2 or 3 weight classes higher than what he should be fighting. He could have done so much more, man.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I was never really a big fan of him. I know back on the old site, in the Ultimate Fighter Canada site that we came from years ago there, Jeremiah. I know a lot of guys were big fans of him back then, and I used to get shit from a fan of his back then. But
I remember.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of him. He was a little too cocky for me, but, you know, you hate to see anybody, you know, especially a legend like BJ Penn, you know, go out in a beatdown, you know, in his career like that. I don't have his record in front of me, but I could imagine there was lots of red within his last 10 fights.
Well, he was actually done after the Nick fight and the Rory fight. He shouldn't have never came back after those two.
Well,
yeah, the Rory fight. That's why I can't stand Rory.
I can't either, man. Taunting, dancing around.
Well, I wish BJ Penn luck there. I don't know what he's going to do from here. I don't know if he's going to go into training fighters or.
I don't know. He's got a name, so there's plenty he can do. I don't know about movies or anything, but he he would definitely make another good ambassador to the
Well,
sport.
those massive cauliflower ears probably are not going to bode well for him in a movie career.
I don't know,
wanted
man.
him,
You got Randy Couture doing movies.
I wanted him to take Chael's place, but I just now seen. Do y'all hear? Have y'all heard who's taking Chael's place?
No, who?
He's
Who?
taking Sonya's place as the commentator.
Oh, we lost you. Say it again.
Chris Lights Out Lytle is taking Chael's place.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Wow.
Yeah, I just now seen that because I was wanting either Frank Mir or BJ to take it. Get
Why
rid
would
of
they give it to
Florian.
Frank Mir? That would have been an excellent choice.
Man, he done really good in the WEC. Really
Yeah,
good.
man, he was fantastic. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was really good. BJ's
Well-
stuttering problem a little bit too much. I think he probably struggled with it.
Yeah. And also, there's another legend that retired on the same weekend as DJ Penn. Jens Pulver also retired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he should have retired long ago. But
long time.
you know, I guess he didn't retire because he needed to make, some money there. I think that was his struggle there. He was,
Yeah,
so
well, when he was fighting too, the UFC was just coming up. The pay then, I'm sure it was a hell of a lot less than it is now.
Oh,
even
yeah.
though the pay now isn't the best.
yeah, no doubt.
He should have retired after the second BJ fight.
Yeah, well, good luck to both of those guys. Let's move on to the next topic here. Ronda Rousey's post UFC 175 injuries that are reportedly a broken thumb and or a broken hand. I keep seeing reports of both there. And in addition to that, Rousey has an MRI of her knee scheduled that may potentially indicate that knee surgery is required. What have you guys heard on this news?
I thought she was going in to get it scoped. I thought she already knew that it was needing scoped. Because like I said, when the post-fight interviews, she said she was going to go in and get it, just some maintenance done to it.
Oh, I thought she said it was just going to be x-rayed. She didn't say anything about surgery in the post-fight interview, as I recall.
Yeah, you gotta watch it again, man. She did say that.
Did she say surgery?
Yeah, she said it's routine maintenance surgery.
Because I'm reading conflicting information here. I'm seeing that it's just an MRI, no surgery.
I don't know. Maybe she had decided to postpone that with the break of the hand. But if you look up her post-fight interview with Rogan, you'll hear it. She said she was going in to get it scoped or whatever.
Okay.
She had knee surgery planned.
I'll look into that. It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong.
Nor the last.
No. I have no problem with being wrong.
No. Just look at my record on the fight predictions. I'm a heart picker. I pick with my heart, damn it.
Yeah, that's why I don't do that anymore, man. Every time I pick with my heart, I do for shit.
I mean, I'm telling you, I pick who I want to win, not logically who's going to fucking win.
I know. That's why I go out and I look at all the numbers and the stats and see what everyone's saying and read what the insiders are saying. That's my opinion doesn't mean shit because I like a fighter doesn't mean he's going to win.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick the winners, though.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
So she probably won't be out for that long.
No, she said that what she had planned on for her knee or whatever wouldn't be out for long.
And I kept hearing that it was going to be the hand injury that was going to keep her out longer.
Well, the hand injury is going to keep her out longer for sure. But she was talking when Rogan asked her about it. She said she had routine, but she might be able to. After that, it's a minor surgery, and that she might be ready in August to fight again.
Okay, so when we're talking this minor surgery, what kind of surgery are you talking? Is it ACL related? What is it?
No, it's like going and scoping the knee, removing.
Bone
God, I don't know. Weidman just had both his knees operated on. It's
What do they do?
Supposed to fight at 174 or 173, and he ended up fighting at 175.
Well, enlighten us about the surgery, which is what we're driving at. What is that?
When they
Is
scope it,
that removing bone fragments out of the... Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think it's ligament.
It's not that major of a surgery.
Yeah, I think it's.
It's not going to be a long layoff.
Well, it's so funny when you're reading all these different, MMA sites, and you're reading sites that are pretty much industry leaders, the big boys. And, you see one site say this, and another site says that, and the next day this one says that, and the next day, it's like, holy shit, how do you keep up with this stuff?
Yeah, it's very hard to.
But anyway, what I was saying she's only, going to be out for maybe a couple of months, but I don't think she'll be ready to fight anybody immediately on her return there. I mean, she actually even said she wanted to take a break after 175 too. So,
yeah,
I don't know if that break was, in fact, the 2 months that all she was looking to break for or not. But what do you guys think about it?
If it's just a scope, it's not going to be that long of a layoff.
Yeah, it looks like it's just to field repair, remove damaged tissue.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's nothing.
So I don't know exactly, but I remember her saying during the post-fight interview that she already had it planned. So.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know it was already planned. And again, we're seeing, reports that she's got a broken thumb, she's got a broken hand, but nothing was made or mentioned about the nasty gash on her knuckle there. Really, that required.
But the cyst that blew up, yeah.
So, I wonder if it was a broken thumb or a broken hand.
Well, they were wondering because she had like a cyst on her hand, and when she hit her, it had burst open.
Oh, is that what that nasty gash was?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a cyst
Definitely.
that had opened up. She had gotten it from training and stuff like that. It just burst open in the fight. So she thought that's what she thought it was when it happened. She didn't realize that she'd actually broke her hand until later on.
They just come out and said her and her trainer, that's the fight they want, Cyborg.
Yeah, I seen that.
They want to stand with her, trade with her.
Well, let's talk about Cyborg now then. All right. I didn't want to talk about that until a little bit later, but let's go ahead, since we're bringing up Cyborg a couple of times here. Let's go ahead and speak about her. On July 10th, Chris Justino's manager announced that Justino will make her 135-pound debut for Invicta FC in December on the Invicta FC 10 card. But no opponent has been named, and a specific date has not been set for the Invicta FC 10 event just yet. And a decision on whether or not Justino will vacate her current Invicta FC featherweight title has not been made as yet either. Cyborg won that title, I guess it was about a year ago when she fought, what was that girl's name? Marlies Kunin? You guys recall?
I think so. I think it's somewhere along the lines of that.
Yeah, so she won the title back then. And then, I also saw something on Twitter that stated DFW just might sign Cyborg, but that he doesn't want to hear any grief for doing so. And his specific quote on the matter after the UFC 175 event was, I just don't want to hear your bullshit if I do sign her, because the shit is going to flip as soon as I sign her about drug testing and all the other bullshit. It'll be the biggest fucking topic. It'll be the biggest fucking story for you to write. Oh my fucking God, the script will flip immediately. So it sounds like DFW, after saying that he would never sign her, it sounds like, yeah, now he is actually considering it. And then on the contract offer that was made to Cyborg previously, according to White, when the UFC purchased and ultimately disbanded the Strikeforce organization, they actually offered Cyborg a contract very similar to what Rousey had. And that was when Justina was actually out on medical suspension, and she wasn't even fighting, and she was suspended for the performance-enhancing drugs. And they offered the same thing that they offered Rousey. And in fact, DFW said it was an identical deal. So a quote from DFW was, just so you know, when we bought Strikeforce, we offered them the same exact deal that we offered Ronda. and they turned it down. They turned their deal down when we tried to sign her. So even Justino's manager confirmed that White's claim that the UFC offered Justino the identical deal as Rousey, was in fact a reality there. And his complaint and the reason that he swayed her from signing with UFC was that there were other incentives missing from the contract. And I don't know exactly what incentives she was looking for, maybe pay-per-view points or whatever. But ultimately what had happened there, so everybody who doesn't know, after she fought, I can't remember exactly who it was right after Cyborg, wasn't she? Fought somebody else after Cyborg, and then she was popped for the steroids, the anabolic steroids. That was back in 2011.
Her last 2 fights, she was clean.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit.
But yeah, ultimately she wound up
she was clean that day.
For fans who don't know. And then, she went on, and she's only had a couple of fights since returning from her suspension, from what I understand there. And, she also had that Muay Thai fight and the Lion Fight promotion as well. So, who knows, man? Maybe we will see her, but she seems adamant now that her life is no longer in danger from cutting to 135, that she'll be making 135.
As long as she doesn't have Tito Ortiz as her manager, she should be able to sign a contract pretty easy.
Yeah. But, she sounds dedicated, and that she's got her mindset now. She's going to 135 because now she's going to go to 135 and Victor. And who knows if Victor may even let her out of her contract if she does, in fact, sign with the UFC. So
she looks old, but she's not, 29? She just had her 29th birthday.
Yeah.
I thought she was older than that.
Yeah, she does look.
That's what PEDs do to you, man. She looks like fucking Wandy's sister.
Yeah, I hate to bash on her because she has so many dedicated and devout fans. It's almost, when I see the comments by them, they just ignore everything that has to do with her past and her progression physically. You could tell she was doing steroids.
I don't want to see her fight Ronda her first fight in, though. I want to see her get acclimated to the weight class. Let her fight Misha.
Anybody that comes into the UFC should have to fight 1 or 2 fights before even talking about title contention,
Exactly.
Her and Holm will probably fight before Holly and Ronda or Cyborg and Ronda.
I want to see, what I want to see? I want to see Tate and Cyborg.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that'll let her fight. Or Tate and Carano. I want them to bring Gina in.
Yeah, Gina doesn't seem like she's, I don't know, it doesn't seem like we're going to get to see that unless she softens up a bit or doesn't sign another movie deal. If she signs a movie deal in the near future, more than likely we won't be seeing her sign to the UFC. No. But it seems like money is the sticking point.
Yeah, she's got to want it because she's not going to do it for money.
Nope.
I don't think she's got it in her no more. Not got it in her. I just don't think that's what she wants to do at this point.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, after she sees, what kind of money and residuals you can make in the movie industry. Yeah. I did a little work in the entertainment industry myself, and you can make some big friggin' money. I mean, those commercials that you see on TV that run for a year, and the person has one speaking line in the commercial.
Yeah, they get like $350, $750 each time the commercial is aired.
Well, if that commercial runs nationally for a year, for one day's work for that one line that you mentioned in that commercial, you're making anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 a year, for that one day's work.
Yeah, I know they get a lot of times.
And that's not even the big time. Because then when you're talking about being in the movies and you've actually got lines all throughout a movie, you're talking about big money.
Mm-hmm.
I know the guy that did the stunts in Miami Vice, the boat stunts.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy made over $1 million just doing the stunt work and the residuals and everything like that. So even the people behind the scenes make big money. So
that's a big industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, any more comments there? We were talking about Cyborg and Rousey. So, you think I agree with Jeremiah there? I don't think the fight should happen straight away.
No,
No matter who it is, 1 or 2 fights before they get a shot at Rousey.
She's going to be drained, cutting down weight. It wouldn't be fair to bring her in and just let her get judo through.
Well, unless she cuts down well in advance, because she turned down her next 145 fight because she's now on a quest to cut to 135. So she's apparently dead serious about it if she turned down the 145 fight.
If Ronda can cut the weight, I think she can cut the weight. Ronda's a big-ass 135 of her damn self.
Well, Dolce, didn't he say that he could get her down to 135? That was like 2 years ago or more now that he said he could get her down.
This is the slimmest that she's looked in the weigh-ins to all of her previous fights, though. She looked good. She actually looked pretty sexy to me.
I hope you're talking about Rousey.
Yeah. I'm actually starting to be a Rousey fan. I think I love her.
Wow. you had me cringing for a moment there. I wasn't going to say
I was getting a bad picture in my head. What the fuck are you talking about? God.
Cut her head off.
Until Damon clarified that, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is he thinking?
What do you think when you see Wandy? Oh my God.
It was a call. Like, damn, did I say something?
Yeah, there's in the EA Sports UFC game, there's a character they have that's at the post fight that poses with you, and everybody keeps saying it's a Black Wandy, and I keep telling them, I said, no, it's not Wandy, that's Justino.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, it looks.
We're going to get some thumbs down on this video there, but let's go ahead and talk about, well, you know, good luck to Kat. Good luck to
Justino.
Yeah, Justino cutting weight. And I hope she makes it. I hope she signs with the UFC. I do want to see her in the UFC. Don't have anything against her as a fighter. Only thing that turns most people off about fighters who get to the path that Justino did is the steroids and the PEDs. People just don't like that. And there was another fighter that was just busted. Bagutinov, I think he was just busted, wasn't he, for PEDs?
Was he?
I think so. Didn't he just fight in 174? I read something about it earlier today.
No, Bagutinov just fought DJ Demetrius Johnson.
Was that 174?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bagutinov. Wasn't that who I'm speaking about here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got busted for some sort of, the same sort of steroid that Chael got busted for.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
So he's out for a year.
Especially since he did so bad against DJ.
Yeah, he's suspended for a year. So let's go on to the next topic here. I do want to mention Kat Zingano returns from the injury that she sustained on her knee there, and that kept her out for 18 months there. But she's going to be returning at UFC 178 in Las Vegas against Amanda Nunes. So that should be interesting to see her return there. I'm dying to see her return to the octagon.
Same here.
She's going to be way bigger than Nunes, though.
I mean, she was supposed to fight Rousey a long time ago, and then she got injured, so.
Yeah, DFW actually said that even though Zingano remains the #1 contender for the shot against Rousey, she must, win this fight against Nunes to retain that #1 ranking.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If she loses, she should lose the #1 contender spot.
I don't even know where Amanda Nunes is ranked. She's 9-3 in MMA and 2-0 in the UFC.
Who knows? If you go by the UFC site, she could be up and down.
Whoever's fighting for the belt is the #1 contender. #2 in the rankings. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
they can be ranked 10th, fighting for the belt, they're ranked #2.
Exactly.
I don't go by rankings. I go by who kicks whose ass and who I think can kick whose ass.
As the UFC rankings go, they have the champ in the top spot, and then the first contender is the #1 ranked fighter.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Kat come back. She's tough and gritty, but she looked a little sloppy in the Misha fight.
Yeah, she did.
She was catching her ass. She looked sloppy as hell. I mean, but she's tough. You got to finish her, but I seriously don't think she can beat Ronda.
You don't think so?
I don't think she can beat her.
I haven't seen anybody really come close to beating Ronda, except for that one neck crank she was in for a short time.
Against Carmouche, yeah.
Yeah.
McMahon rocked her a couple times with it. I hate that fight ended the way it did, man. I thought she was going to be the one. And I still think that she could, but...
Okay, really briefly here, I did want to mention that Matt Mitrione, he was already matched up with somebody there against that scary fellow, Lewis, man.
Derek dude, yeah.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that on the site. You wanted to mention that he was already matched up with his next fight there, and that's going to be happening on UFC Fight Night 50.
That's going to be a heavyweight show. That's the same show as Overeem and Big Ben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be. Finally, get to see some heavyweights fight. When's the last time?
Yeah, I love watching the heavyweights fight.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
When is the last?
It's such a slim division, you know. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
They need to liven it back up. Shit.
When are they going to do another tough heavyweight season? They need to do that, man. They got to find some big boys that can actually fight in the UFC.
Hey, some of those Bellator heavyweights, man, bring them over. Bring them.
I thought UFC Brazil had heavyweights in it.
I don't know. I didn't see.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Well, I just wanted to mention that real briefly there, and then there was another. There's another bit of news I wanted to mention here. Invicta FC. I don't know if you guys heard today or yesterday, there was some sort of announcement regarding the Fight Pass network.
Yep.
And they came out and did a press release. Apparently, Invicta FC is going to be taking place September 6th in Kansas City, Missouri at the Municipal Auditorium and will air on UFC Fight Pass. Headlining the card is Atomweight's champion, Michelle the Karate Hottie Watterson, and she will be going up against Yasuko Tamada. And there's going to be a co-main event that's also going to be a strawweight title fight. And I'm not even sure how to pronounce this lady's name. Stephanie Somebody help me with this one. Huh?
Stephanie A.
Stephanie Egink. I pronounced that.
Yeah, there were heavyweights on Tough Brazil 3.
Yeah. Reason up.
All right.
So hopefully we'll see some
we moved on. All right, we moved on here. We're on the Invicta FC 8 here and the Fight Pass announcement. So that's going to be happening there, and that I don't understand why that was such a big announcement there. I mean, there was a lot of speculation going on that there was going to be other MMA organizations that might be streaming their fights on Fight Pass. So I don't know, man. Some people were saying Metamoris and a couple of other MMA organizations might be putting their fights on Fight Pass. So I don't know, man. This is, UFC isn't going to be doing that for free if they do, in fact, do something like that. So they're going to be making money on both ends. They're going to be making money on the subscribers. They're going to be making money on the organizations that put their fighters on.
Exactly. And they're only going to do it for companies that won't be threatening them. I don't think you're going to see any other than Invicta. That's all women's mixed martial arts, so it's not a threat to the UFC. Metamoris isn't because it's a grappling competition. So I can see him putting on those type of events on Fight Pass.
Yeah, there was a couple of other organizations that were mentioned there, but it was just hearsay, so I wouldn't even bother mentioning them. Yeah, it was Ali Bagautinov.
Well, we're past
Bagautinov.
Ali Bagautinov has been suspended for 1 year after testing positive for EPO prior to UFC 174.
That fucking sucks. I like watching him fight. Fucking sucks seeing that. Well, he's Russian, so it doesn't surprise me.
Hate to interrupt you guys, but I gotta go here in like 10 minutes.
Okay, no problem here. I just wanted to confirm for you here that yes, Roxanne is no longer with the UFC. She's fighting on that Invicta FC card. Invicta FC 8 card. So, yes, September 6th, you will get to see her fight, but not in the UFC, but on UFC Fight Pass. All right, so any other comments, guys? Is there anything else that you want to cover really quick here?
Nope, not really.
I believe we got it.
Okay.
And I'm off Wednesday. We're planning a show Wednesday.
Yeah, we need to do a show too before Wednesday because Wednesday is the UFC event. I believe it's, I forget which one it is, but there's an event this coming Wednesday, and then there's one again next Saturday.
I can do one Sunday. Well, it'd be late.
What time?
Y'all ain't got to wait. I don't get off till 7, so it'll be late. But y'all can go ahead.
Monday, I think we're gonna try and do a news show with David. We haven't had him on in a while.
Yeah,
I haven't been on a show with him. Well, I haven't been on a show with nobody but you guys.
Yeah, but David's had other things going on.
Yeah, it's kind of a struggle to work everybody in and get everyone's schedule coordinated. And then what we do is we try to coordinate everybody so we can all, get together. And then inevitably, it always works out so that 1 or 2 people can't make it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just me and one other guy that are able to sync up there. But yeah, we'll work something out. We can always do a show on Wednesday too. You're off all day Wednesday next week, right?
Yeah, I'm off Wednesday and Thursday, and then I got to work next weekend. So
yeah, we can do something Wednesday. Yeah, no worries. All right, guys. So I guess that's it. We'll go ahead and we'll do another show probably Monday and another one on Wednesday, and we'll do live shows both of those days as well. Thanks again for showing up, guys. I appreciate y'all taking the time to be here, and go ahead and say goodbye if you want to say goodbye.
Thanks for having me, Rich. Good seeing you again, Jeremiah.
You too, buddy. I'm glad to be back, and see you later, YouTubers.
All right, guys. Have a good one, man. Take care.
All right, you too, guys.
All righty. Bye-bye.